Psalm 23:4, it opens the door that leads to a valley so dark. But I shall not fear, says David right here, for walking with me is thou art. That pronoun refers to this simple word tucked neatly inside of verse 1. My shepherd, you see, gives all that I need to walk into whatever comes. Through pastoral fields, by water so still, he leads me along the right road. But sometimes the path is like that new math, and nothing adds up like I hope. I misunderstand, yet he holds my hand, for thou art with me, present tense. But if he's with me, I wonder, you see, then what is with him? That makes sense. Well, back to verse 4, the adjective your is used to describe staff and rod. Hand carved and handmade, these tools of the trade, a shepherd keeps close to his bod. While they are just sticks, they both can inflict a helpful deterrent called pain. The rod to protect, the staff to correct. Some call them the club and the cane. It just makes good sense to have some defense with predators after the sheep. The shepherd will fight, will lay down his life, so don't call him little Bo Peep. The weapon called rod, you might say, is odd because it has a look all its own. The head, which is round, is where shepherds pound in pieces of metal and stone. Prosthesis, I guess, that captures it best. It lengthens and strengthens his arm. With this club in hand, that foe understands the shepherd's intention is harm. This weapon he'll throw or land a hard blow right upside the enemy's head. By air or by hand, as soon as it lands, that beast will be injured or dead. The Lord is for us a shepherd. As such, protection is part of his plan. We've nothing to fear, cause nothing, it's clear, can snatch us from Jesus' strong hand. Now Christ, it is true, did not need or use a club when he traveled the earth. But under his heel is where it got real. He taught Satan how to taste dirt. He guarded his sheep from Matthew to Pete. He won and the enemy lost. But he used a rod pre-fashioned by God, a stick called the old rugged cross. In John 10, that's where the Savior declares, he's shepherd and we are the flock. Verse 7 records, yes, I am the door. So think of that stick as the lock. As I recollect, the staff will protect, because sheep have a will and a won't. A tap from behind will keep them in line and point out the do's and the don'ts. The staff has a bend. It's on the top end. The stick goes from straight to a swerve. Some call it a hook, some call it a crook. I mostly just call it a curve. When sheep go astray and go their own way, they end up detached from the flock. Then they find themselves in need of some help between a hard place and a rock. The shepherd then leaves his flock to retrieve the drifter away from the fold. He'll hear that sheep beg, then he'll hook its leg and lift it right out of some hole. Like Thomas, I guess, we might try our best, but sometimes our doubt wins the day. Then Christ will appear, the shepherd is near, to place our feet back on the way. Or Peter, perhaps, you follow his path when drifting from God, so to speak. But that storyline means soon you might find yourself back at work feeding sheep. Since sheep aren't that smart, I'm so glad thou art, is walking with me and with you. From self and from prey, he keeps me each day. What comfort